They thought they buried it forever. They thought their classified lies would never see daylight. They thought wrong. Explosive declassified documents are now ripping open the biggest political scandal in American history, and the names being exposed will shock you to your core. A former president who orchestrated a coup, a CIA director who just fled the country, an FBI that authorized illegal leaks while lying to Congress. The Mar-a-Lago raid, it wasn't about protecting classified documents. It was about covering up crimes that make Watergate look like a parking ticket. What you're about to see in this report proves the deep state tried to overthrow our government, and they almost got away with it. So stay tuned. Now, the establishment's aging cover-up is finally crumbling, and just like our bodies show signs of wear over time, their lies are breaking down. And speaking of aging, as we get older, our body's collagen production declines, leading to visible signs like wrinkles and sagging skin. And by our 40s, collagen levels have significantly decreased, dropping another 1% yearly. That's why I have relied on Ageless Multi-Collagen for years and appreciate their sponsorship of this program. It includes 5 key types of collagen from 4 premium sources, perfectly blended into hydrolyzed peptides your body absorbs faster. Every order helps feed hungry children through NoKidHungry.org. It's non-GMO. It's free from artificial additives. You can get yours at healthwithgary.com for 51% off, free shipping, and exclusive bonuses. Now let's expose what Obama desperately tried to hide. So who can ever forget these visuals on your screen right here? President Trump's mugshot. All of the folks that were attacked in the Fani Willis RICO case. The pastor on the bottom left actually was here in studio. I interviewed him regarding the case. But it's time that these mugshots disappeared, or we just exchanged them for the mugshots of Hillary Clinton, James Clapper, Comer, Brennan, Barr, all of them. Obama, perhaps. General Flynn, confirming he met with Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth this morning, explains the recent bout of attacks against General Flynn deep state goons and with get-ahead orders so predictable. Let's check in with General Flynn first.
Things happening. Well, I'm actually here in Washington, D.C. I had a great meeting with the Secretary of Defense this morning on some other issues, but very important time that we are in right now. A lot of things still coming out from the DNI and I think DOJ over the weekend. So a lot of things happening. In addition to, I know what you wanted to talk about really was this deal or no deal, right? Are we going to get a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, and frankly, Russia and the West, as we saw Trump meeting with damn near half of the European Union. Well, I'm actually here in Washington.
What's interesting is you're listening to General Flynn talk there. He's being very coy about why he was meeting with the Secretary of Defense. Now, as a former national security advisor and decorated general who was attacked by the deep state, he was a victim of the entire Obamagate, Russiagate hoax. And then how he's talking about what happened over the weekend with the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, the FBI, the DOJ. And he's in Washington, D.C., so one can only speculate what types of conversations were had. He's playing it very close to the vest with respect to what those conversations were about. So I can only speculate that, as we already saw with the raid on John Bolton's house, that if he brings up Gabbard, he brings up the FBI, brings up the DOJ, knowing the investigations that are ongoing with respect to those individuals, I could guarantee you the conversations were about what is coming next. So we can only hope and pray that we do see the perp walks. Now, I want to get to Devin Nunes here because he had some remarkable things to say. This was just posted 6 hours ago. Devin Nunes, Barack Obama raided Mar-a-Lago because he wanted his manufactured ICA report back. The ICA report is the nexus point for Tulsi Gabbard's entire investigation. They manufactured that. That's what triggered the entire Obamagate or the entire Russiagate scandal, and remember, it goes back further. It goes back directly to Hillary Clinton and Julian Smith, who came up with the idea. So let's check in and hear what Devin Nunes, breaking it down, says.
Assessment that they raided Mar-a-Lago because they were looking for this. They were looking for the intelligence community assessment. Your report on Russia's influence campaign targeting the 2016 presidential election. That's why they raided Mar-a-Lago.
I believe it had to be one of the things that they were looking for. Because, look, that report is pretty damning.
Now, critics say some members of the Obama administration could face legal implications for their actions here, and Biden officials could potentially face similar exposure for covering it up. The CIA director, from whom we just heard, wants to know ultimately if it all adds up to a criminal conspiracy.
To Pam Bondi and our Department of Justice, Kash Patel, and our FBI to investigate the conspiracy to do what and what charges that they're capable of bringing. But again, I don't think statute of limitations are going to impact, because in a conspiracy, Maria, the statute of limitation doesn't start to run until the last act in furtherance of that conspiracy.
Remember, the more that they talk about these actions, the longer the statute of limitations has to run out. And the shocking secret revealed political scandal. Be sure to tune in to the newest episode. Let's listen.
To my,
this is John
as soon
Solomon.
as Hillary gets cleared.
John Solomon here.
As soon as Hillary gets cleared, she wants to change the subject in America from the email scandal, which she's been dogged by for almost a year, to something that would put Donald Trump on the offensive.
This all lends itself to my belief that the Obama administration was, in fact, the most corrupt administration in history. They tend to claim, scandal-free, but it wasn't scandal-free. I mean, we've got Hillary Clinton's email problems. That tied into this based on what you just said. Can you explain that and why they had to do what they did to attack President Trump?
So the U.S. intelligence community actually intercepted communications of the Russians who had been spying on Hillary Clinton's plan. And what the Russians decided, or what they learned from their spying on the Clinton campaign, is that Clinton personally approved a plan in July 2016, after James Comey magically waved a wand and said, "You're absolved of your email problems." She had been using a private server and moving highly classified information through it in violation of federal protocols and likely in violation of the Espionage Act. But she was cleared of it because James Comey decided he just wasn't going to prosecute her. Now, he didn't have that authority. He was the FBI director. He had no right to do that, but he did it anyway. As soon as Hillary gets cleared, she wants to change the subject in America from the email scandal, which she's been dogged by for almost a year.
So she gets cleared, and then what happens magically next? What happens? You have the Russiagate scandal unfold. Kash Patel going on Fox, laying down the law on Russiagate. If there's anyone who knows the ins and outs of this, it's Kash. Very important videos. Let's watch.
The Biden administration dating back to the answer to both of those questions is the same in terms of origination. It was a total weaponization and politicization by the FBI and DOJ in the Biden administration dating back to the Obama administration that led not only to Russiagate, as you opened up with, but to the invasion of Donald Trump's private home in Mar-a-Lago. There was, as we now know, thanks to the federal courts, there was no constitutional basis to do so. There was no lawful predicate to open that investigation. But once you let the politicians run the FBI and DOJ and weaponize it against their political opponents, like they have done for years against Donald Trump, back to Russiagate and to his home, we are now showing and exposing again the weaponization. And to your second point, once we rid, and that's what we're doing here at the FBI, ridding this place of its former leadership structure that did that weaponization, and we're giving accountability to the American people as we find it. As you highlighted, myself, Director Ratcliffe, and others in the intelligence community are declassifying documents at a great rate to publicize what we're finding so the American public can read it for themselves.
Kash, has there been a full investigation of the Mar-a-Lago invasion? Why, where, when, who did it? You talk about the leaders. I guess we can blame the leaders of the FBI, but there are a lot of people on the ground. I don't know how that all works. Question, has there been a major league investigation? I don't think the public is aware of one, or if there is, what the conclusions were.
Look, Larry, on this one, as you know, I got to be careful in terms of what investigations we formally have open. But you know this from me. I've been on the Russiagate beat for about a decade, dating back to my time with Congressman Chairman Devin Nunes, exposing the corruption at the FISA court, the illegalities and the weaponization there, and the involvement of Hillary Clinton's campaign to directly fund and weaponize the Department of Justice and the FBI. And what I'm committed to here as the director of FBI is to root it all out. And here's the thing, Larry. We are answering questions publicly so the public knows what we're doing in terms of whether or not we have an investigation. Putting that aside, these documents show that people in leadership positions may have lied. Brennan, Clapper, Comey. We are not going to leave one document unturned. That is why we are going out throughout this building and throughout the country and finding these materials that they wrote down in burn bags and tried to destroy. And all of it, in my opinion, we are going to show the public, at least through the declassification process and the documents we're producing, that it is public. And whether or not this investigation is going as far-reaching as it should, I will just answer you with this. While I can't comment on the investigation itself, me specifically, have shown the American public time and time again of the weaponization, and now I'm the director of the FBI thanks to Donald Trump, and we have a great Attorney General in Pam Bondi, and where we can find accountability, we are joining forces literally on a daily basis to do so, especially on the matters involving Russiagate. No one knows it better than the team we've built here.
Listen, I know. I mean, you've been on this show many times. We've talked about it on this show many times. We've talked about it on the radio show. But, Kash, can you say there is an investigation of the FBI's role in that invasion?
I am, of course, overseeing the current matters that the FBI involved themselves with from Russiagate on. And whether or not there's an open investigation, Larry, I think you know that I can't answer that, but I think you know that our partners across the IC would not be divulging this type of information if it did not serve some sort of use. For me, specifically here at the FBI, I can't speak for them. And, of course, I won't speak to any charging decisions on any matters. That will come with the collaboration of our great partners at DOJ, who work hand-in-hand with us every day.
I know.
Baby, let's freaking go. Let her rip. Let her rip. Let's check this out. This is the Chris Stiegel Show. Obamagate, the biggest political scandal since Watergate. We want accountability, not retribution.
Blatant instantly, we want accountability, not retribution. We're not looking for getting even. We want accountability for what was done to us. And young people...
No. You can say it. It's okay. We want retribution. We have been dragged through hell. The entire United States, the Trump family, all dragged straight through hell because of Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, the deep state apparatus. Okay, sure. You want to call it accountability? That's fine. I respect your choice of words. But retribution is a little bit more like it. Because I know everyone watching right now is just as pissed as I am.
People do too. You know, what's been discovered about this Russia collusion hoax is stunning. Or Obamagate. This is a historic scandal. I mean, it surpasses Watergate by a lot. It's blatant institutional corruption. Officials from the Obama administration weaponize intelligence to fabricate stories against Donald Trump. It undermines American democracy as we know it. They have tried for years, the Democrats have. You know, the Washington Post used to say, democracy dies in the darkness. No, Democrats actually tried to kill democracy in the darkness. At its core, coordinated deep state efforts to delegitimize a duly elected president, using a discredited dossier to do it. There was never evidence to support it. And the assistance by the media to help in this coordinated takedown of Donald Trump is the most disgusting part.
Oh, there's no question. The media facilitated it. The media amplified it. The deep state leaking to the media. I mean, for years, that's all we heard. Russia.
It's disgusting the way the media helped institutional corruption. Yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard amplified this, exposing more emails from 2016 in which James Clapper pressured CIA director, the NSA guy, the James Comey who ran the FBI, pressured all these guys to just abandon what they know to be true and treat this as a team sport and be all in on Russia collusion. They pressured the guy at NSA, Rogers, who didn't like this, didn't want to rush this, said it was insufficient, not a good report. They said, just stick to the script, dude. Don't give us a hard time. Trump is a puppet of Russia. That's it. And now, so we know. This built on prior instances. Adam Schiff's authorization of classified leaks to indict Trump. Jim Comey at FBI. Using agents and people inside his department to funnel leaks and false information and false storylines to the New York Times. Obama taking over police departments, as I've talked about, which actually led to more crime, by the way. And they call Trump a fascist.
Yeah, they call Trump a fascist. Yeah. Let's keep going. We got some more here. Chicago One Ray 5 hours ago. Every one of these traitors were in on the conspiracy to unseat a duly elected president. Justice is coming. Every one of them. Newly declassified memos reveal former FBI leadership authorized classified leaks while misleading Congress. This is FBI Director Kash Patel 24 hours ago. Thanks to President Trump's push for transparency, the cover-up is finally being exposed. Accountability must follow. Exclusive. Prosecutors secured evidence Comey authorized classified leaks but declined charges. I know we have something here. Check this out. Okay, this is Implicit Bias Radio 24 hours ago. Rumor has it John Brennan is hiding out in Austria. They write, no idea if it's true, but since it didn't come from CNN, maybe there's hope. Are ex-officials really skipping town these days? Let's listen.
There are reports that John Brennan has left the country and is hiding out in Austria right now. Now, whether that report is true, I don't know. But given that it didn't come from CNN means it's got a better chance that it's true than if it did come from CNN. And if you've got former high-ranking officials, it's a big if you've got former big high-ranking officials hiding out outside the country, that tells me a lot. And let's be honest, let's see, who all is left? There are reports that John Brennan...
Now, it wouldn't surprise me if they have left the country. Not at all. Christina Aguillo posting this. Just 21 hours ago, John Brennan has reportedly fled the states to Austria after declassified documents implicated him in the Obama Russiagate scandal, according to Roger Stone. Stone, a former Trump campaign advisor who also worked on campaigns for Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan, recently alleged that Brennan has a makeshift studio in Austria where he broadcasts his appearances on MSNBC from. Stone has posted a photo of Brennan, made to look like mugshots, with the title Wanted for Treason. Brennan, who serves as a national security analyst for MSNBC and NBC News, has continued to appear on air and has not mentioned anything about relocation. The former CIA director is under investigation by the DOJ for allegedly making false statements to Congress about the 2016 Russia collusion investigation into Trump and the Steele dossier paid for by the Hillary campaign. Brennan faces potential perjury charges, among other things, and because of FBI Director Kash Patel's conspiracy route, the statute of limitations will not apply. And this is the image that Roger Stone posted. Ante for treason, CIA Director John Brennan. I can only assume that is written in German, because if he is in Austria, that's likely the language that would make sense for him. Carly Bonet asks, when is someone going to get locked up? It's time for the perp walks. Let's check in with John Solomon on Fox, and while we're doing that, I'm going to check Roger Stone's feed for any updates.
National security information.
Solomon is with us. Is this the smoking gun?
Well, it's something pretty hot, I'll say that. Listen, you have now the former general counsel, the former chief lawyer to James Comey saying I leaked classified information, he tells federal agents and prosecutors, and I did so at the instruction of James Comey's chief of staff, who told me James Comey authorized me to go do this. We now have a really significant evidence trail that James Comey may have had national security information leaked to the American public just before the election, putting his finger potentially on the scale of the election. And what's important about this is that knowing and willful leaks like this, if they have a negative effect on the national interest, the security of the country, they can be prosecuted up to 10 years, which makes this October 2016 leak that the FBI was able to, that the investigators and prosecutors able to confirm, still prosecutable until next October of 2026. Pam Bondi said, I just heard what she said. She said in the show today, no one should be allowed to jeopardize national security. There will be accountability. Kash Patel saying that this was a stain on the FBI and one that now has to be fully transposed. When you look at the investigation, Sean, which, by the way, occurred, a lot of it occurred during Trump's first term in office, really weak work by prosecutors and people working on this. They had a chance to go get emails that would show what Comey and his people were talking about. They didn't go secure them. They didn't bring a lot of people before the grand jury. There is room for Pam Bondi and Kash Patel right now to open a criminal investigation, get new evidence, and help the American people see just how bad this might have been.
Is this part two? Because there was the issue of the Columbia professor. Was that classified material as well?
Sure. Yeah, listen, I want to credit Attorney General Bondi and Director Kash Patel because I made a request to have this information unredacted. It was redacted in the first production. We saw the stuff about Mr. Richmond. We saw the stuff about Adam Schiff. Right? We know that's the other person who was identified as likely authorizing illegal national security leaks. But this was originally redacted, and the Attorney General went to the mat for us to go get this information so we can see it. And when you see it now, you see its significance. Remember, James Comey was questioned astutely by Senator Chuck Grassley in the Judiciary Committee, May 3rd, 2017. Were you ever an anonymous source? No. Did you ever ask someone to be an anonymous source? No. Did you ever authorize the leak of classified information or declassify something so it could go to a reporter? Never. No. Those words are now going to potentially be looked at as a potential obstruction of Congress. If this statute of limitations and the possibility of a conspiracy case, James Comey faces a potentially very serious matter right now.
It's James Comey, baby. Okay, so I found the post of what Roger Stone said. This is August 13th. He said this. Source is now telling me Brennan has moved to Ireland once I expose his presence in Austria. This Islamic convert and admitted communist can run, but he cannot hide. Remind me again what the penalty for treason is. So now he is in Ireland, apparently, according to Roger Stone of August 13th. Now on August 11th, Roger Stone said this. Sources tell me that admitted communist Islamic convert and traitor John Brennan has fled the country and is in hiding out in Austria, where MSNBC has built a makeshift studio for him to make it appear he's in the United States. Brennan has no intention of returning to the country and can be considered to be on the lam. So here is the wanted for treason image that he posted. So that was August 11th, and then just a couple days after, it appears as though Roger Stone says he is now in Ireland. Very interesting how this is all shaping up. Let's continue. I think we have some more here. Here, yes, of course, the fake news. Trying to say that Obamagate's almost a decade old, so it shouldn't matter anymore.
Russia's efforts, a lot of information out there about Russia's efforts 9 years ago to interfere in the election.
And so, Chris, throwing it all the way back to 2016, it is a long time ago. You've been part of the Intel Committee for a long time. Is there any doubt about the intelligence that found Russia tried to help Trump in that election?
So no, and not any election really since the Cold War. It should not surprise Americans that Russian intelligence officers are interfering in American affairs. In this case, the SVR, the FSB, and the GRU, which is actually their military intelligence component, directly got involved in trying to sow discord in American society, create polarization, make Americans, different components, hyper aware of issues that really were, appealing to different sides. But I think it's important to point out and a lot
of information out there about.
Yeah, the mainstream media still carrying water for the deep state, but not us. What do we do here every day? We expose every single one of these seditious traitors, as Tulsi Gabbard calls them. Here is Fox News. Okay, I think we played this already. Let's see here. Did we cover anything? Yes, we did. We covered it all. And but we ain't done covering it because this story ain't over yet. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this changes everything we thought we knew about the Russia hoax. Devin Nunes just confirmed Obama himself ordered the Mar-a-Lago raid to retrieve his manufactured intelligence report, the same fake document used to spy on Trump's campaign. Kash Patel says that there was zero legal basis for the raid. John Brennan reportedly fled to Austria and then to Ireland as these documents drop. General Flynn is back advising our defense secretary while the rats scatter. This wasn't just political opposition. This was an attempted coup by a sitting president against his successor. They weaponized the CIA, the FBI, and the DOJ to overturn an election, then tried to cover it up by raiding Trump's home. Every American should be absolutely outraged. So here is my question. Should Barack Hussein Obama face prosecution for orchestrating this coup? Or does he have presidential immunity? Drop a yes or no in the comments. Let's continue this conversation and show your support for real justice. Grab your next news gear from our shop. It's linked down below.